When you think you've had enough.
I say this every season, multiple times a season. There's only one reason why I even watch the NFL anymore, and that's for you, the fans of Under Construction. I know it's been a while. Don't call it a comeback. We've been here for years, 5 years, in fact, and none of those 5 years have we ever had a winning Panther season.
No winning seasons. Neither team. No.
Well, the Hornets, but they
Well,
didn't. They didn't
no
make the
playoffs.
playoffs. Yeah,
Yep.
but
Yeah.
at least they had a winning season.
At least they had a winning season.
More than I can say for the Panthers, who started their season today. They forgot. No, someone forgot to tell them the season started today. But they were there. They had uniforms on.
That's it. All right. Thank you. Thank you guys for joining Under Construction. See you next week.
So I don't. If you didn't watch today's game, I don't blame you. You hopefully you saved your mental health and spent some time with your family. But I watched today's game, unfortunately, and the Carolina Panthers got destroyed by the New Orleans Saints. This might be the worst Carolina Panthers game I've ever seen, and we've seen a lot. It's up there. I mean, at one point it looked like it was going to be 50-0, and I'm not exaggerating. The score was 47-10, and it wasn't even that close. It wasn't even as close as the score would indicate. It was like New Orleans
could have been like 55-0. It easily could have been that.
They could have dropped 70 on the Panthers if they really wanted to, because New Orleans didn't let up until they were still
late third quarter, maybe.
Yeah, they were still throwing downfield in the fourth quarter, up 37 points. And you know what? I don't blame them. I was hoping they would pull a Madden 25 and run a score up to 100 points. Because I wasn't expecting them to beat the Saints. I know it's been a while since we did a show. And my prediction was going to be, I was actually going to make a post on the construction page. My prediction was going to be 24-17 Saints. The Saints are just a better team. They loaded up in the offseason. They were essentially, they had a winning record last season. They missed the playoffs only because Tampa won the division. But they loaded up. They got, Chase Young on the defensive line now. They got some good offensive pieces. Derek Carr is a pretty good quarterback. He's the best in the NFC. I was not expecting the Carolina Panthers to win this game. And honestly, I wasn't even expecting them to be all that competitive because the Saints are just a better team. They're playing on the road. They're playing in one of the hardest places to play in the history of the league. I wasn't expecting this to be good for the Panthers in any way. But I wasn't expecting this. I was not expecting to be down like 17-0 in the first quarter. Bad on both sides of the ball. Bryce Young looked terrible today, but I mean, he didn't blow safety coverage over the top. The third play of the game to give up a touchdown. That Bryce Young was not out there when that happened, right? I'm pretty sure, and I feel bad for J.C. Horn because he was left holding the bag on that play, but that wasn't his zone. Jordan Fuller, for some reason, bit on the out route. So they're double teaming a guy who's already covered in the zone. And then you allow Rashid to just run up the field, and J.C. Horn's got to play catch. That's touchdown in the NFL. That's how the game starts for the Panthers. So now you already down 7. You've spotted the Saints 7 points at home with less than 3 minutes left off the clock.
You cannot win a game in the first quarter, but you can damn sure lose one.
Yeah, they lost that game, the first play of the game. And then the first offensive play, Bryce Young makes a bad throw on a good decision. Great decision. You had the guy on the drag route. It was tight coverage. You could have made that throw, overthrows it, pick. That's the game. The game is over at that point. Because now you've given the Saints the ball back essentially on their side of the field. They kick a field goal. It's up 10-0. But At that point, what are you going to do? Every phase of the game, coaching, special teams, especially coaching. Dave Canales, I mean, I'm riding with Dave, but the play calling is shit. The play calling is absolutely terrible. I mean, you play Madden. The guy you're playing against online runs the same corner blitz twice. Right? You going to fall for it a third time, dog?
Kaza.
You got a third?
Kaza, how the hell does a DB get 3 sacks in a game?
On the same play.
I don't know if I've ever seen that as long as I've ever been watching football. I don't know if I've ever seen a cornerback get 3 sacks in a game before. I don't know if I've ever seen that.
I don't know. Maybe not since the Rhonda Barber days. You know, he used to rack up sacks.
So Kaza, this is what organizational failure from top to bottom looks like. If there's a screenshot or one game where you can tell people what it looks like, this is what it looks like from top to bottom. I am going to give Canales a lot of smoke today because this team was not prepared in any phase of the game to play today. They were bad everywhere. Yeah. The trenches, the D-line got ate up. The offensive line was awful. Bryce was awful. The receivers were awful. Jonathan Mingo fumbled the damn ball twice. Everything was awful. Every single phase of the game was bad. The secondary was bad. The special teams was bad. Everything.
This is why.
Listen, man, I know the hot story will be how bad Bryce was, and he was bad. Listen, Bryce was bad. The inaccuracy on his throws was alarming to say the least. But to sit here and say one person lost this game or it's one person's fault, you need your eyes checked if you say that.
No, didn't we get 2 new guards on the offensive line?
$100 million, buddy. $100 million.
Every play. I don't understand how the entire defensive line is in the backfield every play. And the commentator like, Bryce has a clean pocket. I'm like, what? Where? Every play this guy rolling out. Yes, okay. Thank you, Chris. This is going to be my next point. This is why preseason matters. There's a saying in the NFL, preseason doesn't count, but it matters. Play reps in the preseason. The ones had one series in the preseason they played together.
Hey, Kaza, let me actually correct all of y'all. Let me correct you, and let me correct all y'all out there who are saying that. Y'all are wrong. See, Canales has this plan where he's going to get the reps and blowouts. That was the plan. See, y'all didn't know that. Yeah. You see how many reps Bryce got in the blowout game?
You're right.
No, y'all had it wrong all along, man. Yeah.
And they looked like a team that had never played a game together. I mean, you played one series in the preseason, and it was a good series. But that was it. That was like.
So listen, man. Like I at first I didn't give too much credence to that, but when I thought about it some more, man, there's a lot of new pieces on this team.
22 players. That's the most in the NFL.
That's the most in it. And with that being said, we damn sure should have saw him a lot more in the preseason. Because here's the thing, and I think people anybody who's played any kind of sport on any level knows this. Practice is one thing. Practice and training camp, it's needed. It's cool, of course. But there's nothing like the real thing. There's nothing like getting out there in real game situations. Mm-hmm. And the Panthers have not had that yet. I don't give a damn about one series against the Buffalo's 2 and 3 guys. I don't even care about that. They needed some more real game situations in the preseason because they were just completely not prepared to play today at all.
No,
not one bit.
I mean, not
the least bit.
Communications on both sides of the field. I mean, just every fast. I can't remember. The reason I say this might be the worst Panthers game I've ever seen is not necessarily the score, because there have been times we've seen worse Panthers teams, like that Jimmy Clausen led team.
Oh God!
15 years
Right.
ago. That was a bad team. But see, that's the thing. They were a bad team. They were devoid of talent. They actually had a good coach. They had John Fox, right? This team was this game. Every facet of professional football was bad. Coaching, special teams, execution, play calling, decision making. The Panthers did nothing good. The best play they had was Bryce Young scrambling for a touchdown, and they almost fucked that up. They were 2 inches from fumbling in the end zone.
Kyle, I don't know if you remember, like a long time ago, when the Charlotte Observer used to give grades for they'd say like the offense, the defense, the special teams, whatever. Everything is F. Everything is F. F, F, F. The only, God damn it, the punting is not even a good grade, because that goddamn blocked at one point. Like, everything was bad.
I guess Eddie Pinheiro did his job.
Hey, he got a field goal. Yeah, he didn't mess up any kickoffs.
Yeah,
I guess that's the one guy who doesn't get a failing grade today.
I just like I said, I wasn't expecting the Panthers to win today. I wasn't expecting them to have a good season. I wasn't expecting them to be competitive. Like we said, 22 new players, 15 new coaches on the coaching staff. No first round, or Liggett was technically their first round draft pick, but they made some interesting moves. But I wasn't expecting a lot out of the Panthers this season. But we said this last season, we just need to see improvement in key areas. Just the improvement, right? Yeah. And I know this is only one game, the first game of the season, but all I saw was regression. Except for Liggett, who had, the little time he was on the field, he looked great, right? Right. But otherwise, everyone else looked terrible.
So, with that being said, man, here's my hot take question of the day. Did we get worse this offseason? Think about it. Let me add some context with that question before you answer that. We all know about the Brian Burns saga, right? But let's ask a simple question with the Brian Burns saga. Do you get better letting Brian Burns go?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. Wait, hold on. And I got more. Frankie Louvu's not on this team.
Nope.
Did we replace him? Nope. Jeremy Chinn's not on this team.
That's right.
Did we get a decent replacement for him? So, again, man, did the Panthers get worse this offseason?
I think defensively they did. And I think that showed this game.
Right.
I mean, across the board, I'll be honest. I mean, I'm watching the Panthers and I'm like, who are these guys on offense? Or defense. The only reason I know most of them is because I play Madden, right? And they're all on the team. Or otherwise, I'd be like, who the hell is Jordan Fuller? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I've never heard of this Josie guy ever.
Like, where the hell did he come from? Why is, so essentially our defense is J.C. Horn, Shaq Thompson, and Derek Brown. That's our defense. Oh, Jadeveon Clowney, right? So, like, Jadeveon Clowney.
30-something-year-old Jadeveon Clowney, yeah.
Who's been living his entire career off one play he made in college. So, and I get what they were saying. Like, Brian Burns didn't have actually a really productive season last season. So you bring in a guy who equaled his production. Jadeveon Clowney did have 9 sacks last season, but he was non-existent today. Yes, Archie, he did line up. I saw him out there. What he was doing, I don't know. Did we even get any pressure on Carr? I think we had 1 sack, and it was a coverage sack.
Yeah. Other than that, no, we literally didn't do it. No, we did. Did we get a sack on Carr? Yeah, we did get a sack on Carr today. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember 1 sack, but it was like he had no one to throw to. Probably because they were like, let's throw another 60-yard pass. Because, I mean, why not, right?
And then there was some guy that I've never heard of, Iku Leota. Who's that? Who's that? I don't know who that is.
He's not even on my franchise in Madden. I don't know.
It's not Shaq Thompson. It's not Clowney. Who is that guy?
Mike Jackson actually didn't do too terrible.
I was gonna say if there, I don't, jumping ahead. I know we haven't gotten the defensive and offensive MVPs, which is a joke, but he was the guy that stuck out today. He actually
Yeah,
made some plays on the ball.
he played like he gave a shit.
Right.
Right. And I know he didn't always make the play, and he gave up some, but he was out there playing like he was in the NFL.
Yeah.
Everybody else, I mean, you're gonna have, J.C. Horn played like J.C. Horn, and Shaq Thompson actually played well, and Derrick Brown played. But I mean, that's as a team.
Expected. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Those guys played like we expect them. As a team, no. Offensive line still looks like garbage. We can't run. We can't pass protect. I know Bryce Young looked terrible, but I'm gonna be honest with Bryce Young detractors. What was the expectation? You saw him running for his life every play, just like last season. What do we expect?
So let me say this about Bryce, man. And there are, I feel like there are a lot of Panthers fans who are rooting for Bryce Young to fail just so they can be right. But
yeah.
if he does fail, here's my question to everybody who thinks that way. Was he ever set up for success here? Okay, let me ask this another way. Has Bryce Young been set up for success since he's been here? That to answer that question, that is a big fat no, by the way. Don't even attempt to answer that any other way. There's
3 head coaches, 4 offensive coordinators in 2 seasons.
That's insane. That's insane.
I mean, who would be successful in that kind of environment? And let's not forget, we are one of the most dysfunctional franchises in the league with David Tepper as an owner.
Like I said, organizational failure from top to bottom, and it showed its ugly head today. Today it showed its head today, man.
I just don't know, like, how do you right the ship from this? Now, there's some context. As we stated at the beginning, the Saints are just a good team. They're just flat out better than the Panthers are. And the Saints will be a playoff team this year. They're my pick to win the division. They just look good across the board. But still, having said that, the Panthers don't even look like an NFL level team. Right? And I'm not expecting them to win, even 6 games. Anything is better than last season, right? 5 wins. 5 wins would be a win for the Carolina Panthers. But do we even get to 5 wins? I don't even know how we even get to 5 wins at this point.
I mean, if we basing it off today's performance, we don't get to 5 wins. That's easy. There's no way in hell this team gets to 5 wins playing like they did today, man. And I know football games are not won on paper, but the more I look at this team on paper and the more that I see today, it looks like the exact same thing this year. And look, and we better get lucky and have a bad weather game and we can actually beat a damn team, because if we don't, it might end up worse than last year.
I just don't know what else the Panthers can do except
get better.
I just don't. So, I mean,
no, I'm going to tell Kaiser, let me interrupt you, man. Let me tell you the answer to that question. The answer to that question holds to people who know a lot more about this than me and you. And what I mean by that is that coaching staff better be up. They better have some late nights coming up, man, because they got a lot to figure out with this football team who doesn't look like it has any identity whatsoever. Those players look like they didn't want to be out there. They look unprepared. Canales and that staff has some work to do with that, man.
This is one of those things where you might have to reboot again. Okay, so the Bryce, I hope Bryce Young works out, but I mean, if the Panthers are in a position to draft a top QB,
Shadur Sanders,
yep. Which that's another conversation. I'm not sure Shadur Sanders is going to be that good in the NFL. I'll be honest with you. He didn't look that good against Nebraska. And I wonder how good he's going to look without his father there to coach and guide him, right? And also someone like Shadur Sanders to come to the Carolina Panthers, which I don't think Deion Sanders would even allow that. So, I don't think he would. He'd be like,
if we think LeVar Ball is bad.
Yeah. There's no way Deion Sanders would allow Shadur Sanders to even come here. So,
But we'll
But
save that conversation for another day.
here's the thing. I don't even think the offense is the biggest problem.
That's saying something, and that's saying a lot.
Considering they used to be, but we saw a decline in the defense beginning last season. And I'm sorry, you let an NFL team put up 47 points on you. Now, I get it. The offense, the defense feeds off the offense and vice versa. Offense turned the ball over twice, put the defense in bad positions. I get it.
They won 8 drives without a punt.
8 drives. The first drive of the game, you give up a 60-yard touchdown on blown coverage. The offense had nothing to do with that. We could not stop the run. And dog, the commentators are talking about Taysom Hill like he's damn Cam Newton out there.
Well, he looks like Cam Newton against us. He always seems to do so against the Panthers, to be fair.
Yeah. I mean, everyone on the Saints looked like a damn all-pro. That's on the defense. And when I look at the defense, I don't see – there's so many holes. Linebacker to secondary. And then the commentators are like, I really like this Carolina defensive line. Oh, word? Really?
Really? You do?
What was Shy Tuttle out there doing? Getting ran over by Alvin Kamara?
Yeah, pretty much.
Our defensive line is Derek Brown. That's
because Alvin Kamara looked at those edges all day and said, "I'm running that way." He told the Panthers, he said, "I'm going to run to the left every time," and he did it every time.
We have DJ. What's his face?
DJ Wanham sitting at home watching the game with us.
It was Clowney on one side and the other DJ on our team.
DJ Johnson, the guy who can't play. Yeah,
was on the other side, right? So Alvin Kamara, I'm running directly at DJ Johnson, and I'm gonna have another 100-yard game.
And he did.
Easy mode. So now the offense is down 17 points by the time they actually have a drive. What do we expect them to do? And then that, to be fair, that does affect the play calling. I felt like they went downfield too much with Bryce, knowing that he can't get any protection. No, dog, why not throw them little Tom Brady routes? What I like to call them Tom Brady routes. Some little 3-4 yard, just dink and dunk with your guy.
Hey, Kaiser, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't Deontay Johnson bought here to kind of take the top off the defense? And so why are you running out routes with Deontay Johnson? What was he bought here for? Was he not bought here to stretch the defense?
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
No. We're just gonna run him on a little out route.
We're
gonna put him on a developing route and make sure the shortest quarterback in the league has time to throw.
Oh man, Jermon, what's up, man? Carr looked like Tom Brady out there, man, and to me that was, if there was one issue that did stick out today, because there are plenty of them. You got a plethora to choose from. I noticed in the trenches, man, the Panthers got their ass kicked in the trenches today, and that's the one that shocks me the most.
There you go.
I did not expect that at all, man.
Yeah, on both sides. I thought the same thing.
On both sides.
Yeah, in the trenches, we just lost. It felt like we weren't getting any push on either side of the ball, and I'm just shocked at how passive our pass rush was. Consider this: 2 seasons ago, under Steve Wilkes, Carolina Panthers were 3rd in the league in sacks.
Right.
What happened to that? Now, I know Brian Burns is gone, but you're trying to tell me that Brian Burns, who only had 9 sacks that season, was like the difference maker?
Hey, Kaiser, we're not supposed to bring up Steve Wilkes anymore, man. We were supposed to move on past that. However, with that being said,
I'm just mad that Steve Wilkes ain't even in the league anymore, which is absolutely ridiculous.
But
he got scapegoated by us and the 49ers. I'm just.
However, isn't it ironic that all of Steve Wilkes' guys are not here anymore? Yeah. And having, by the way, Dante Jackson, he got an interception today. Sam Darnold was like 10 for 10 last time I looked. So all these former.
No, I saw the highlights of that game. That's
what a kick in the face, man.
I have gone on record on the show saying we should have kept Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield. But I'm just a guy on a podcast.
Hey man, we just host a YouTube show. We don't know, man.
I don't know anything.
We don't know. We don't know anything, man.
By the way, Derek Carr only had 200 yards.
But
didn't it feel like he had?
It feels like he had 400. I feel like he had 450 today. But you know what it was, man? It was a very efficient 200 yards. You know what I mean? No turnovers, very high completion percentage. Yeah,
he averaged 8 yards per attempt, a QB rating of 142. And the Saints as a team had 180 yards rushing. That's ridiculous.
They did whatever they wanted to. And we're not even going to talk about all the drives they started in great field position. That's what we're not talking about enough. You understand what I'm saying? Because since special teams struggled today and we turned the ball over a couple of times, man, I mean, they were starting on their 40. You know what I mean? A lot of times.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, I just don't know, man. I just even in the preseason, you could see the cracks. But I thought, well, they're not playing the ones. These are second, third string guys. It's just too hard to tell.
Right.
And but yeah, once again, another season, and we start the season off. Boy, this is the worst start to the season that I can remember. It just is.
Same. You know why, man? Because we've been used to looking at shitty offenses for quite a while now, and usually the Panthers can hang their hat on their defense to make the games look decent. You understand what I'm saying? The defense is enough for us to not just totally get our ass kicked most of the time. But now that you have that as the defensive performance, like the floodgates are just kind of just open now, man. And this is what we got today, and it's alarming. It's very alarming going forward.
All right, let's look at the box score here. What's Miles Sanders doing? What's his job?
Why is he on the team?
Why? Well, I know why he's on the team. Because he gets paid $1 quadrillion. What isn't his job blitz pickup? You trying to tell me Miles Sanders can't block a cornerback?
Now, let's talk about that some. If you're Miles Sanders and you're coming off this great season with the Eagles, and then your coach tells you, "Hey, man, you're here to pass block." What do you think if you're Miles Sanders?
I think I wish I'd stayed in Philly.
Wish I would have stayed in Philly, right?
Miles Sanders had 5 carries for 22 yards.
Chuba Hubbard, 6 carries for 14 yards. Jesus. Oh my God. Ugh. Yuck. What wasn't he the bright spot in the preseason? What wasn't he firmly the number one guy in the preseason? Or am I making that up?
Yeah, the Panthers got down big early. They really couldn't run the ball that much.
But 2.3 yards a carry?
Yeah, Hey, let me ask you this. Ask you guys in the chat this. It's 4th and goal. Like 4th and 2. Not 4th, it's first and 2, right?
Yep.
You gonna pass 4 times to get
Apparently.
You gonna do that?
After you spent $100 million on 2, you know what?
Oh, and are your pass plays going to be you're gonna lob it in the corner of the end zone in single coverage?
You spent $100 million on your offensive line, and you don't attempt to run the damn ball on 1st and 2.
The irony is that the touchdown you scored was your quarterback having to run it because nobody was open and nobody was open.
Right. Oh boy. Kyle, let me ask you this question, man. Do you believe Bryce is or will be able to throw the ball down the field consistently at any point, man?
I mean, no. Well, here's the thing. Like, the Panthers are devoid of talent. And Bryce Young is not Cam Newton. Cam Newton came to a team that had no offensive talent except Steve Smith. And although his first season he had Greg Olsen, but Greg Olsen wasn't Greg Olsen yet. The Bears didn't even want him. And he had Jeremy Shockey.
Right.
So he had Steve Smith, Jeremy Shockey. But that was his. Everyone else was. He did have D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart. But those guys eventually left the team. And Cam Newton really had nobody. But he made everyone better. Jericho Contreras' best season, Cam Newton. Ted Ginn's best season, even though he left the team because he thought he was going to have a better season with Drew Brees. No, with Cam Newton. Kelvin Benjamin, best season, Cam Newton. Cam Newton, because he was Cam Newton, could make players better. Bryce Young cannot do that. No matter how good he ends up being, he cannot do that. You have to I think if you put a good O-line and some capable receivers around him, which is what I think the Panthers are trying to do, then yeah, he'll be a solid NFL quarterback. But he's not. I don't think he's going to elevate the play of players around him. I just don't see it. Unless, I will say this, he's got to take more risk. And I know Panthers fans probably don't want to hear that because it's like, he's safe now and he's turning the ball over. But he's so risk averse. I think sometimes he's just afraid to just make the play.
Yeah.
There were times where like Mingo would be sitting in a zone and there'd be a zone defender. But if I'm the quarterback, I got to trust that matchup. I got to trust that Jonathan Mingo or Xavier Legette is going to win.
You got to trust that your wide receiver has a catch radius, regardless of whether he's covered or not. Yeah.
And the difference, and this is why C.J. Stroud has such a good rookie season. C.J. Stroud is actually a terrible decision maker, but he trusts his ability.
What he has.
Yes, C.J. Stroud threw more passes to covered receivers than anybody else in the NFL last season, which is crazy. But his receivers made those catches. He had confidence. He was like, look, I know I got no one to throw to. Fuck it, I'm just going to throw it. I'm a rookie. Bryce Young doesn't do that. He goes, ooh, that could be a pick. That's a bad decision, and it is. But then by the time you've only got 3 seconds in the NFL. So you just got to make the throw. You just got to make the throw. And even the commentator said that. Like, okay, no one's open and your pocket's collapsing. You got to do something. And I think a lot of times Bryce Young he's waiting on something that's never going to happen. You have to make it happen. And I don't know if he's got that in him.
It's one of those things where people say the quarterback has to throw the receiver open. And that's kind of what they're getting at. And again, not to be repetitive, but you gotta know what your receiver's catch radius is. And not only that, in terms of throwing the ball down the field, man, I think throwing the ball down the field in the NFL is not as easy as fans think it is. And what I mean by that is that you have to there's a lot of function that has to go on. Of course, number one is protection, right? Number two is you have to have you have to be on the same page with your receivers. Now, let me be clear. Bryce overthrowing these guys does not, it's hard for me to defend that, seeing that we saw Bryce overthrow a couple of guys today. However, going forward and doing it consistently, you still have to have a functional offense. And I think that's what we need to be worried about more going forward. Because the offense still didn't look functional today.
Yeah, timing and chemistry is actually more important than anything else. It don't matter if you've got Tom Brady and Joe or Jerry Rice. If they don't play any reps together, then they're gonna have a tough time, right?
Right.
And I don't think Bryce got enough reps, real game reps, with his receivers. That's why he's overthrowing. That's why the commentators were getting on Bryce because he overthrew Deontay Johnson when he was open, but he was scrambling out of the pocket. He was on the run. That's a difficult throw for any NFL quarterback to make. You're scrambling to the side, opposite your right-handed quarterback. You're scrambling to the left. That's just a tough play to make.
Hey! Right? But because a former offensive lineman, Mark Slayer, says you're supposed to make that throw 100% of the time.
Let me also say this. That made watching the game 20 times worse.
Jesus Christ, man.
My God.
God,
My God.
man.
My God. I
Just
hate
pile
that
it
guy.
on. Everything's bad. Just everything.
Yeah. So, I think that's a play that Bryce Young makes if he has, if he sees that in game situations often enough, like in the preseason, right? But that's the first time you're going to see that. And I'm not expecting him to make that play. It's only his second year in the league. I think Bryce Young can be solid. He's not going to be the savior of the franchise. And we talked about this before the draft last season. Whoever the Panthers drafted number one has got to be the guy, right?
The guy, right?
He's not the guy. I don't think C.J. Stroud would have been the guy either, for what it's worth. I think he's better than Bryce Young. He went to a better situation in Houston. First of all, he's got the coach and the offensive coordinator he came into the league with. Bryce Young does not. But, the Panthers gave up too much to get the number one pick, and it hasn't. It hasn't worked out.
No, it's been. I think saying it hasn't worked out is being nice. It's been a disaster. Let's call it what it is. It's been an utmost disaster so far, man. And
I want to. This is the worst play to start the game. Why are you doing a 3-step drop the first play to start the game? Why?
You know why? I think Canales did that because we get beat on that deep play, and it's kind of like we're trying to win the drive back on one play, if that makes any sense. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta, Canales is still a rookie coach, so I'm gonna give him a little bit, just the smallest bit of leeway there. There's a lot he's gonna learn, but I'm just tired of going through these growing pains with coaches. We went through this in the Ron Rivera era. If you guys remember Rivera's first 3 seasons, he made a lot of mistakes, and then he was coach of the year twice.
Right.
So Canales is going to have to go through that as well. The question is he going to get the opportunity to be coach of the year twice? We fired Frank Reich after 1 season. We didn't even give Steve Wilkes a whole season. We gave Matt Rule 2.5 seasons.
Oh, and remember, we didn't even give Reich a full season. Let's make sure we're clear about that.
Yeah, he didn't get a full season. Yeah. Does Canales have how much leash? Does he have?
Right.
And if you're Bryce Young, I'll be honest. If I'm Bryce Young and they fire another coach, I'm trying to get the hell up out of Carolina.
I'm trying to get the hell out of here. Yeah. I got to look out for me at that point.
Yep. I'm calling my agent. Some team will. And you know what? What's crazy? I bet if you traded Bryce Young to some team, I'm just trying to throw a name out there that needs a quarterback. You could sit in Tennessee or so. You know what I'm saying? I bet he'd do better there.
Yeah. Anywhere. Somebody name me an NFL program right now that's more dysfunctional than the Panthers are right now. Name me one.
The Giants.
I'll be happy to debate that.
The Giants.
Close, but I still think we got them.
I
don't know anymore, man. I just did not envision it being this bad this early. And again, it's one game, but at the same time,
it's going to be a rough season. But like we've said, I think the Panthers have regressed. And they gotta prove me wrong next game. And I'm not saying they gotta win next game. They gotta at least be not even competitive. They just have to not be as bad, as they were today. And who they play next week? The Chargers?
The Chargers, the Jim Harbaugh led Chargers.
That's a L, right?
God.
Automatically.
Ooh, boy.
Yeah. They do play at home. A West Coast, a California team having to come all the way here to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good for us. Okay, all right. Let's talk about some stupid shit that don't matter. But who's your offensive MVP?
Offensive MVP. Uh, the kicker, Pinheiro. Can we say that? I'm gonna go Eddie
Yeah,
Pinheiro.
okay. Yeah, Eddie.
Yep.
I'm gonna go Adam Thielen.
No. Time out. I'm gonna go Raheem Blackshear because he actually did have some really good returns today. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna actually go Raheem
By the way,
Blackshear.
the new kickoff rule sucks. It's fucking dumb.
It is very dumb,
It's
but
stupid.
Blackshear did take advantage of him, so I'll say that.
I'm gonna say Adam Thielen. Actually, he's the only he only had 3 catches for 49 yards.
Yeah,
but I mean, he's the only constant threat for us. I think Leggett is gonna be good though.
Yeah, 4 catches.
I have a lot of faith in him. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they've got to find ways. See, this is what I understand. The Saints said, we got all these playmakers. Let's just find ways to get the ball into their hands and let them make plays. Because
so what you're saying is when you have a dynamic running back who can catch it out the backfield and also run between tackles and also run on the edges, and you keep a guy like that around. Is that what you're saying, Kaza?
I'm just saying you don't let him go.
Okay.
But the Panthers have maybe some playmakers. I mean, you traded to get a first-round pick so you could draft this guy, and he might be the steal of the draft. That was probably the best move the Panthers made all offseason.
I agree.
To get maybe one of the best receivers in the draft, right?
Yep.
Use him. Find ways to get the ball in his hands. Instead,
Jonathan Mingo seems to be your number one target for some reason.
Dog, I like Jonathan Mingo. I hope he has a good season, but dog, you fumbled the ball twice, and you got really lucky the second time that wasn't a turnover.
Yeah.
You fumble on a jet sweep. Why are we running jet sweeps?
down 28 running jet sweeps.
You got the Jonathan Mingo in he was a first round pick or a second round pick.
Second round pick,
season 4, right?
Yep.
And you running jet sweeps with him.
Yep.
Great job.
Great job, guys. Great job.
Defensive MVP. Someone said Derek Carr in the chat. I agree.
I'm gonna go Mike Jackson. I like what I saw from him today. He was competitive.
Yeah,
I thought that PI calling him was bullshit. So
what a bad call. What a bad call. Panthers actually got the wrong end of the whistle today, but I mean they were so bad it didn't matter. Like that late hit on Shaq Thompson, that was bull.
Yeah. No, it was garbage.
Yeah, fact that they ruled Bryce Young's touchdown a fumble on the field instead of giving him the touchdown and reviewing that. But yeah, Mike Jackson, I thought, like we said earlier, he was the only person that appeared that he gave a crap. Shaq Thompson, though, played really, really well, actually.
Yeah, he did. He did.
For loss. He was probably hyped up coming back off that big injury that essentially robbed him of a season last year. I thought he played well. I thought Derek Brown played, well as you can play for, a nose tackle and a 3-4 defense. So,
right.
All right.
Hey, man.
Have we said all that needs to be said about this game? I don't even think.
One more thing, man. I'm gonna tell you what was a bad sign from the jump for this game. For me, this was a bad sign, cause you listen. When I went to Bojangles today, my Bojangles was nasty today. Like they overcooked the chicken.
Yeah.
They didn't have green beans. The fries were kind of soggy. And that should have been the sign right there that the Panthers were going to just be awful today. Because my Bojangles was awful today. So that should have been a sign, man.
It's just not in the cards for the Panthers. Which, I mean, we expected this. I told someone, I said, the season was over. This season was over the end of last season.
Last season.
Like, we knew because we don't have a first round draft pick, and we just knew coming into this season it was going to be
we knew there was nothing to look for, and the thing is, Kazi,
nothing to look forward to.
look, man, me and you, it's kind of like me and you speak telepathically sometimes. What do I mean by that? We didn't communicate a lot this offseason because we knew. That's why.
Yeah.
We knew. And I know a lot of our fans are probably like, hey, man, y'all didn't really cover preseason this much. You didn't really cover a lot of the offseason. This is why, guys. This is why.
There was nothing. There was no move the Panthers made that really made me even a little bit excited, except maybe drafting Leggett.
There was nothing that made me want to say, let me call Kaz and say, man, God, I'm really excited.
It was like, oh, they signed Robert Hunt.
Right.
They still gonna be garbage, so yay. Okay.
Right, man.
All right.
Cool.
Next week.
Time out. Not 9 straight quarters without a touchdown. We didn't mention that. I think that's a record.
It is. Well, it has not happened. I think they said Cincinnati in 2000.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Almost 25 years.
Yep.
We broke a record. Good job.
Good job, guys.
Way to go, David Ellis.
Yep.
Next week, the Panthers' home opener is against the Harbaugh-led Los Angeles Chargers. By the way, Harbaugh, I think he would have come to the Carolina Panthers. I think he wanted to. But we didn't reach out to him.
Yep.
Instead, we went for Dave Canales, who was the offense coordinator for
the 20th
ranked offense in the league.
Yep. Good job.
Way to go. ESPN Master Predictor is actually kind to us for next week. They give us a 40% chance of winning. Should it even be that high?
It needs to be 6. I think 6 is even being nice, quite honestly. What's the spread on that game, man?
The spread is...
If it's not 17.5, it's inaccurate.
I know. I'm looking at ESPN. They don't have the spread up.
Spread yet? Okay.
Yeah, but it's probably... I mean, it's got to be at least a touchdown. It's probably 3.5 now, and it's going to move before next week.
Right.
But yeah, I just don't see how the Panthers. First of all, like they're not going to stop Justin Herbert, so you couldn't stop David Carr.
Right. What is Justin Herbert going to do?
Yeah. DJ Chark is going to play well. He's going to play like he should have played for us.
Yep.
Right. So is Hayden Hurst. Bradley Bozeman. There's a bunch of Panthers, like ex-Panthers on that team.
They're all going to ball out. They're all going to ball out.
Yeah. Yep. They're going to come back home and beat the shit out of us.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 24-13 Los Angeles.
I got the Chargers 35-10.
Yeah, that's probably more realistic.
Yeah, I got the Chargers 35.
I think we'll make some little improvement. Well, first, I don't think the Los Angeles defense is as good as the Saints defense is. And Chark is out on IR. All right, good. That just means somebody we never fucking heard of is gonna have 180 yards and 2 touchdowns. So, yeah, I don't think their defense is quite as good as New Orleans. So I'm gonna give us a little bit of leeway there. Yeah, the Chargers. Yeah, they don't have good wide receivers. I will say I think defensively the Panthers secondary is okay, and it might not look like it today, but the pass rush was not there. And if you don't give up that big touchdown in the beginning of the game, you might not get blown out by 37. But if they shore up those communication issues, because Xavier Woods is a decent safety.
Yeah,
Jason Horn is really good, a really good corner. I think Mike Jackson is going to end up being solid. The weak link is Jordan Fuller. So I'll take that. I still think, though, that the defense is going to struggle against Justin Herbert, who, he's a big quarterback. He's got good arms. He's good, right?
Yeah.
I think we're. I think on
Could
the
have
other
been a
side of the ball,
Panther.
yeah, I think on the other side of the ball, we're going to struggle against Khalil Mack. Is he playing? Is he in the IR?
I hope so, but
Yeah, I
probably
hope
won't matter.
he's injured, but he's probably not. Um, yeah, it's going to be. I'm looking at the Panthers schedule, and where do I see 5 wins?
You don't.
Okay, maybe the Giants.
Maybe the Giants. Maybe the Giants. Yeah.
Maybe the Bears. Maybe. But that game is in Chicago. I don't think the Bears are going to be as good as everyone thinks they are this year. They did beat the Panthers last season.
My God, we got the Chiefs at home this year. Jesus Christ.
Boy, that's going to be.
Oh, my God.
I don't see 5 wins. Maybe you might steal one off the Falcons.
Maybe the Raiders. Maybe the Raiders. Maybe.
That's in Vegas. Boy,
But that's it. No, I mean that's pretty much it. A bunch of maybes. Maybe the Raiders. Maybe the Falcons. Maybe the Giants. That's kind of where I'm at with the schedule.
It's so Panthers that. So we got our first round pick this season, right?
Yeah.
And we could have the number 1 pick again. Ain't nobody to pick.
Yep. You get Travis Hunter. It's pretty good.
Okay, actually, Travis Hunter is really good, but he's where do you draft him? What position you draft Travis Hunter at? Wide receiver?
Both
he's not going to play both in the NFL, right?
Why not? Hell, why not? He can play both on this team. Why not? This team needs him.
But is Travis Hunter, as good as he is he worth a number 1 pick though?
That's overall. Another question for another day, man. I'm not sure.
We might as well start talking about draft today because hey Adrian, this is okay. Hold up, this is what's Ejiro Everett? What does he do? What's his job?
We down on Everett.
And I like the guy, but dog.
I thought Everett was supposed to be the bright spot, but
yeah, today, I feel like he's kind of packed it in. Like man, I don't give a shit. I don't care.
Look, man, this is all conjecture. This is not me. I don't know anything from anything, man. But I hope Everett was like, "Oh, y'all didn't give me the head coach's job. Let me just go ahead and pack it in. The hell with y'all. The hell with this."
He's just gonna throw every game, like
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I want out too. Yeah.
All my players left.
Yeah.
Imagine having Brian Burns and you get Jadeveon Clowney.
Right. Imagine having Frankie Louvu and you get Josie Jewell to replace him. Yeah. Even though Josie Jewell was Everett's guy in Denver, but you get the point still, man.
He's not bad. He's not Frankie Louvu, though.
It ain't Frankie Louvu. Nah. You're talking high school guys and getting number 1 pick.
Boy, this schedule. It's so many blowouts. So many blowouts. I mean, of course, the Saints again. And then the Chiefs. And then the Eagles and the Cowboys. I mean, that's 4 blowouts right there.
Yep. All right, man. We got about 7 minutes left, man. Do we have anything at all less depressing to talk about?
The Hornets. That's a good one.
So no.
I'm waiting on them to disappoint me too. Here's what's crazy. If the Hornets are healthy, they'll be good, right? I think everyone in the chat agrees with that.
Right.
Particularly if LaMelo Ball gives us 70 games this season, we'll be a 4 seed. You can book it. I'm saying it right here. If he plays 70, he's got to play 70 though, which is
you're going that high, huh?
If LaMelo Ball plays 70 games, because he plays 70 games, he's going to average like 25, 8, and 8, right?
Okay. Right.
But he ain't gonna play 70 games. We all know that. We all know LaMelo Ball gonna play 32 games, and then they're gonna call us haters, right? They're gonna be like, "Oh, just hating because if LaMelo was healthy." Right? Y'all forget.
Hey, man, but he was spotted wearing ankle braces, man. Shouldn't we be excited about that?
You know what? let's back up a few weeks to the Olympics when Steph Curry shut down the entire world, literally the entire earth shut down watching Steph Curry bust Nick Batum's ass 3 straight plays, right?
Yeah. I couldn't ask
Nick
anything better.
Batum bleeding off from his head.
Right,
That was from
right.
Charlotte, right? But he
Right.
was wearing those ankle braces, right?
Yeah, right.
So I'm hoping LaMelo was like, hey, man, if Steph Curry can do that wearing ankle braces, so can I.
Yep.
Yeah, 70 games, 4 seed. That's how I see it. Because Brandon Miller is going to be obviously really good. And, you get Miles Bridges back. I feel like the 2 biggest question marks actually are LaMelo Ball's ankles and Mark Williams back. If those 2 are good, I don't even care about who we drafted because he ain't even going to play, right?
Yeah, Salon is not even going to play this year.
Yeah, y'all can. I know all the Hornets fans. We don't like to play the young guys. Trust me, you ain't gonna see that.
He ain't gonna see the light of day.
Right.
So Kaiser, I'm going to laugh my ass off the first Charles Lee hate post I see because Salone ain't playing. Oh, it's gonna be hilarious. I can't wait for it. I can't wait.
Will Ball play more games than Young throws touchdowns? Woo, that's
wow.
Hey,
wow.
I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna
cautiously say yeah.
It's just that we just don't know yet. This is literally a make or break season for LaMelo Ball because if he gets injured again, then he's damaged goods. Yep. I'm sorry, I hate to say that. I hate to put that label on a player, but we said that about Gordon Hayward, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like when we drafted him, when we traded for him or signed him as a free agent. Well, he's already damaged goods. I think if LaMelo Ball doesn't give us 70 games this season, it's fair to say that about him.
Yeah.
So I think he's gonna play more games than he did last season. I'll give LaMelo that. 70 I know is lofty, but I feel like in today's NBA, playing 70 games is like you're like a damn Iron Man, right? Like, nobody plays 82 games anymore, which is sad. But I need at least 70 out of LaMelo.
Yeah. So I got a random thought I want to share before we log off. EA Sports, please help me understand why your college football game is amazing. I've had the most fun playing it so far. But yet, Madden 25 is still awful. Somebody, please help me understand how you've had years and years and years to fix this game and make it better and make it a real simulation game. Let me repeat, make it a real simulation game. And you have failed to do so for almost 20 straight years. Please help me understand somebody.
There is a rumor that the NFL, this actually has been the case for a while, the NFL has grown weary of EA's exclusive license. They feel like they're losing money because, there's so many developers that would love to buy the NFL and the NFLPA license, but EA has an exclusive deal. There's some conjecture that the NFL may have found a loophole to get out of that deal, and the license will go back on the free market, which is the best thing for football video game fans is to have 2K back in the mix. There's another developer making a game called Maximum Football, which is supposedly very good. It goes early access on PC next week, but it's not NFL, obviously. But Madden or EA they are able to just sit back on their laurels because they have no competition. And, they just pump out garbage with Madden every year. I mean, I played Madden. Although, to be fair, I had a little bit of fun with Superstar Mode. I made a QB. I got drafted by the Saints. And I put up, with 5-minute quarters, I put up 8,000 yards and 98 touchdowns against 7 interceptions on all Madden.
Come on, man.
Simulation football, right? I beat the Panthers by like 82 points. Just because, it's bad. Which, beating the Panthers by 82 points is actually kind of accurate. So maybe I'll give EA a little bit of.
Maybe they do make these games.
It's in the game, right? So.
You got any shout outs to shout?
Man, we
Shout
got
out.
a lot of rest in peace to Fat Man Scoop. So
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean, Fat Man Scoop, Crooklyn Clan, and to die on stage is wild.
That's wild.
Like,
Yeah.
To literally die like doing what you love is wild. But I know a lot of people.
Rumor has it I guess he had a Red Bull right before he hit the stage or something, man.
Yeah, at his age and his size is probably not the best combination. But a lot of young people are like, who's Fat Man Scoop? And it's like, look, dog, early 2000s. If you was at the function, Fat Man Scoop was playing. Somebody had Fat Man Scoop blasting, and him, Rich Homie Quan, like rappers, and it's like hip hop. The people in the industry, we just never get our chance to get old. It's really, really sad.
Yeah. But that hip hop lifestyle, man. You gotta pick your battles with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Swag. A big shout out to your brother, man. No doubt, man.
Can he get hired by the Hornets?
Yeah.
Because they need.
Can he actually double dip with the Hornets? Yeah. Is that possible, Swag?
Yeah.
Congrats to your brother. Seriously.
Yes. Big up. Also, shout out to Jamal, GJ Mall.
That's me, y'all.
Yeah, he been hitting up the spots over the summer. So
thank you, man.
Go check him out. I'm gonna go check him out one of these days here soon. But I know he's been doing his thing. I know he was at the Boys Event show last night, right? Like,
we're gonna talk about that. Yeah,
go ahead.
So for my first shout out. So I am a grown ass man who is a Big Boys Men fan. I know that's weird, and I don't care. So just let you know right now. I've been following these dudes since 1991. All right, I have seen them about 8 times. All right, let me tell you, last night Kaza was amongst the top, bro. Like, imagine a R&B group who is known for harmonizing and singing a bunch of ballads, right? We know what their image is, right? Imagine these same dudes coming out on stage with guitars strapped to their back. And imagine these dudes getting down on you play bass, you know how this is, right? Sean and Nate were playing guitar while Wanye was singing Chains Gonna Come by Sam Cooke.
Wow.
Gaza, I know I'm Mr. Fanboy. I get that. But that show was amazing last night. And that is just a testament to real talent. Hey, young people, talent. Remember that word? Talent. And Kaza, I don't know if I'm so used to not seeing real talent that I'm over-exaggerating, or if it was just truly real talent out there. You understand what I'm saying? Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is you got a group who's been in the game for 30 years who are still trying to perfect their craft. And that itself is very admirable, man, and especially by my favorite group, man. So I had a great time last night.
Good, man. Yeah.
I do have a shout out too.
Yeah,
let me get to my shout out. Florida State Seminoles football. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, Florida State. The optics of you whining about the ACC and trying to get out the ACC, even though it is asinine to conflate last year and this year, which everybody's trying to do, even though it is asinine to do so, the optics of you doing that, Florida State, and then looking like complete garbage these first 2 games, just shut up. Just stay out the media and shut up. I don't want to hear anything. Shut up. Mike Norvell, don't say another word about anything related to the playoff, to the ACC as a league. Just let it go. Shut up. You suck. You're not going to be any good this year because somebody had the bright idea to go get DJ Ugly, whatever the hell his last name. I don't care. No, Austin, he's not overrated. He's trash. He's rated just where he should be. I'm done.
I bet he'd be awesome on the Panthers, though. He'd be incredible.
Kaza, let me tell you something. If that guy ended up on the Panthers, I would officially be done with this show. I'd be done with the Panthers.
Hey, you know, hey,
I'd be
I'm a
done.
49ers fan. I don't even know why I'm doing this show. I'm so glad Christian McCaffrey made the cover of Madden, which actually made me kind of mad. It's like, oh, so when he played for the Panthers,
Oh, he wasn't good enough to be on the bad cover. Okay,
he loses the Super Bowl, and now he's on the cover of Madden. So,
by the way, man. By the way, boys and men sing the national anthem at the 49ers game tomorrow, man. So or tonight, whenever that comes on. I don't remember, but yeah, yeah, man.
That's gonna do it for this week until the
next time. Yeah, Kyle's a good seeing you, man.
Yeah, you too, bro. Hey, who's going to the season opener? That's gonna be like. Is anyone gonna go to that game?
Is anybody going? Is who still goes to Panthers games?
I went to a preseason game against the Jets, and it was all Jets fans there, and I could see the Chargers game is gonna be the same thing.
Yep.
Why would any Panthers fan go to a Panthers game?
We are officially a hub for visiting opponents, fans now. So.
But see, watch the Panthers do like the dumb Panthers thing and win.
Right.
That's total Charlotte shit. I guess we'll see. Hey, y'all have a great week. Thanks for rocking with us. Thanks for coming back to us after our extended summer break. We're here to be miserable with y'all because misery loves company.
No doubt.
So
no doubt, man.
See y'all next week. Y'all take care of each other. Peace.
Peace, y'all. Yes, Austin, Michigan is trash too. Peace, y'all.
So is Colorado.